The next time you are attacked, when you are criticized, accused, or misunderstood, you will feel an overwhelming urge to do one thing: to defend yourself, to explain, to set the record straight. You will believe this is a sign of your honesty, your integrity. But Niccolò Machiavelli, a man who stared into the dark heart of power, would tell you the brutal truth. Your urge to explain yourself is a confession of weakness. Think about it, that frantic feeling in your chest, the rush of words to your throat. No, you don't understand. What I meant was, that's not fair. I was just trying to. Let me explain the context. In that moment, you think you are fighting for the truth, but you are not. You are begging for approval. You are surrendering your power. You are handing the keys to your emotional state to your accuser. You have already lost the war because you have accepted their premise that you are the one on trial. This single, unconscious mistake is the root of almost every argument you lose, every negotiation you fail, and every ounce of respect you surrender. But what if there was another way? A way to face any attack, any criticism, any accusation, and not only remain unbroken, but actually emerge stronger? Machiavelli understood that in any conflict, the battle is not for the truth. The battle is for the frame. Who defines the reality of the situation? He who defends loses. He who defines wins. Today, we are going to teach you how to stop being the defendant. We are going to teach you how to become the judge. This is not a guide to winning arguments. This is a guide to making them irrelevant. The moment someone attacks you, they are setting a frame. They are creating a story in which they are the prosecutor, and you are the accused. The story says, you are wrong, bad, incompetent, and you must now prove your innocence. When you start explaining and defending, you are agreeing to play a role in their story. You are stepping into the defendant's box. From that position, it is almost impossible to win. Even if you have all the facts on your side, you are still operating within their reality, by their rules. The act of defending yourself validates their right to judge you. It is a subtle but profound act of submission. The Machiavellian strategist refuses to enter the defendant's box. He understands that real power is the power to define. He doesn't defend his frame. He imposes it. He does this by using 3 ancient, powerful weapons. These are not tricks. They are the fundamental laws of psychological warfare. The first and most powerful weapon is the shield of silence. When you are attacked, your instinct screams at you to speak, to fill the uncomfortable silence with justifications. This is a trap. Silence is not emptiness. It is a psychological vacuum, and human nature abhors a vacuum. When you respond to an attack with calm, deliberate silence, you force your attacker to fill that void. Let's make this practical. Your boss publicly criticizes your work in a meeting. This report is sloppy, John. I expected better. Your untrained self would immediately jump in. Well, actually, I didn't have all the data, and Sarah from marketing was late with her numbers. You are defending. You are making excuses. You sound weak. Now, imagine the Machiavellian response. The boss makes his accusation. You pause. You look at him, not with anger, but with calm, neutral curiosity. You say nothing for 3, 4, 5 seconds. What happens in those 5 seconds? It's a psychological eternity. Everyone in the room feels the tension. Your boss, who expected a defensive reaction, is now faced with a void. He is forced to speak again to break the tension. He might say, "Well, what do you have to say for yourself?" Or he might start to second-guess himself. I mean, it's not all bad, but this one section. By staying silent, you have refused to accept his frame. You have forced him to re-engage, often from a weaker position. Silence communicates control. It communicates that you are not rattled. It communicates that their attack was not as powerful as they thought. It is the ultimate shield because it is made of nothing, and you cannot fight nothing. The second weapon is for when silence is not enough. It is for when the attacker is persistent. It is the mirror of inversion. This is the art of turning the attack back on the attacker, not by defending your actions, but by questioning their motive. You take the spotlight of judgment that they have placed on you, and you turn it back onto them, forcing them to justify themselves. Let's go back to our meeting. Your boss says, "This report is sloppy, John." You've used the shield of silence. He is now uncomfortable. Now, you deploy the mirror of inversion. You do not say, "My report is not sloppy." That is a defense of the content, which keeps you in his frame. Instead, you change the frame from the content of the report to the intent behind his criticism. You might say, with genuine, calm curiosity, "You seem unusually passionate about this report. Is there something else going on that I should be aware of? Do you see what just happened? You have completely shattered his frame." The conversation is no longer about your alleged incompetence. It is now about his emotional state. You have subtly implied that his professional feedback might actually be a personal issue, a projection of his own stress. You have moved from defendant to analyst. This is a power judo throw. It uses the force of their attack against them. It is profoundly unsettling for the attacker because they are prepared for a fight, not for a psychoanalysis. Another example. A passive-aggressive colleague says, "It must be nice to leave at 5 p.m. every day." The defensive response is, "I finish all my work. I work through my lunch." You are justifying, explaining, pleading. The mirror of inversion response is a calm, curious question. It sounds like you're feeling overworked. Is everything okay? You are not defending. You are diagnosing. You are reflecting their hidden insecurity and envy back at them. The mirror of inversion is devastatingly effective because it operates on a deeper level of communication. It ignores the surface-level words and attacks the hidden emotional driver of the conflict. The third and most advanced weapon is the blade of redirection. This is used when you are facing a skilled attacker who will not be thrown off by silence or questioning, or when the accusation itself is irrelevant to your larger purpose. The blade of redirection is the art of completely ignoring their frame and imposing your own, more powerful one. Imagine you are in a negotiation for a major contract, and the other party says, "Your price is ridiculously high." The defensive response is to justify your price. "Well, our quality is superior. Our materials cost more." You are still playing their game of price. Blade of redirection ignores the price frame completely and introduces a higher, more powerful frame, the frame of value or risk. You might respond, "It's not about the price. It's about the cost of failure. I understand you can find a cheaper option. But what is the cost to your company in reputation and lost revenue if that cheaper option fails in 6 months? We are not the cheap option. We are the never have to worry about this again option. You have not defended your price. You have made their price frame seem small, amateurish, and irrelevant. You have redirected the conversation to a battlefield where you are king, a battlefield of risk, security, and peace of mind. Another example. In a political debate, a candidate is asked about a past mistake they made. The weak candidate defends the mistake. At the time, we had different information. The strong candidate uses the blade of redirection. They ignore the question and pivot to their core message, their grand vision. The real question isn't about a decision I made 10 years ago. The real question is about the decision we as a country have to make today. Are we going to continue with the failed policies of the past? Or are we going to choose a future of strength and prosperity? They have made the original question seem petty and unimportant. They have seized control of the narrative. This is the ultimate art. It requires immense confidence and a crystal clear understanding of your own purpose. But the one who masters it can never be trapped in someone else's story. So you see the pattern, the shield of silence, the mirror of inversion, the blade of redirection. None of these techniques involve explaining, justifying, or defending yourself. They are all about rejecting the frame of your attacker and imposing your own. The fight is never about what you think it's about. It is never about the facts. It is always about power. It is about who has the right to judge, who has the right to define reality. And the moment you start defending yourself, you have silently agreed that they do. You have given them the judge's gavel. And from that point on, anything you say can and will be used against you. So how do you start? This is not just theory. This is a skill you must train. This is mental martial arts. First, start with silence. For the next week, make a vow. When you feel attacked or criticized, in person or online, your first response will be a 3-second pause. No matter how much it burns, just breathe and count to 3. Do not type. Do not speak. Watch the impulse to defend rise and watch it fall. That small gap is where your power is born. Second, become a frame detective. Start noticing the frames people try to put you in every single day. The friend who starts a conversation with, "You're always so logical, you won't understand this," is putting you in the unfeeling robot frame. The partner who says, "If you really loved me, you would," is putting you in the prove your love frame. The ad that says, "Successful people use our product," is putting you in the "Are you successful enough?" frame. You don't have to fight them. Just notice them. Awareness is the first step to immunity. Third, practice one small redirection. The next time someone tries to put you in a negative frame, don't defend. Just try one simple, low-stakes question. "Why do you ask?" Or, "What makes you say that?" Or, "That's an interesting perspective. What's behind it?" These are small versions of the mirror of inversion. They gently shift the focus back onto the other person. They are your first steps in the art of psychological warfare. You have been taught to be an open book, to be honest, to explain yourself. But in a world of strategists, an open book is a book that gets burned. Machiavelli's wisdom is not an invitation to become a liar or a monster. It is an invitation to become a fortress, to build an unbreakable frame around your own mind, to understand that your thoughts, your motives, and your reasons belong to you. You do not owe anyone an explanation for who you are. For the great majority of mankind are satisfied with appearances, as though they were realities. Niccolò Machiavelli. The world will continue to judge you based on appearances. So let your appearance be one of quiet, unshakable strength. Let your silence speak louder than their accusations. Let your questions be sharper than their swords. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to be respected by those who matter. And respect is not given to those who beg for it. It is given to those who command it. If this message has resonated with you, if you are tired of being on the defensive, if you are ready to stop being a pawn and start controlling the board, then make your declaration. Join the others who are choosing to define, not defend. Go to the comments and write, "I do not explain." It is a declaration of your new sovereignty, a commitment to your own unbreakable frame. Subscribe to the Thinker's Codex. The game has changed.